So I want to make mention about something. It's not my area of discipline, but every so often something come across your desk that you have to be opinionated about. If that's the correct word. So there's a lot happening in and around us, in our environment, in our society, in our personal lives, in our loved ones' life, in other people's life. We see social media has become the platform that brings about things that some of us didn't even know existed. And if you should try to keep up with what's happening in the world, on the news, in the community, at work, in other people's life, when do you find time to focus on your life, your self-development, your growth? Now, I'm not saying that you should be blind to what's going on in society, but there's a lesson to be learned in everything and from everyone. Now, what I have come to realize in society is that people expect the most and the best from others. And very often they expect the most and the best from people that they deem and consider to be inferior. So you don't see me as anyone. I am not the ideal girl. I am not the ideal guy. I'm not the one you would choose to marry. I'm not the one you would choose to have your children with. I'm not the one you would choose to spend the rest of your life with. I'm not the one you would choose to even have a conversation with because you think I'm the worst human being that ever lived. That's your perception. That's your thought. Now, so a man think it, so is he. So what you are thinking about another person and projecting on them, that's really who you are and how you feel about yourself. But majority of society have not gotten to that place as yet. So those who that are already there knows this, and when they see it, sometimes they call it out, and sometimes they just shake them like myself and say, this is very sad, because I know that when someone talks bad about others and see the worst in others, that's how they feel about themselves. Because what caused you to think, feel, and say that about the other individual? Anyway, that's neither here nor there until you get there and learn this lesson. And so majority of society is on that negative side where they expect everything good from someone else, and they hold everyone in the world accountable, but can never look at themselves in the mirror and judge themselves. Use a fine-tooth comb and comb their own character. They cannot start with the man in the mirror. They want to start with the man standing next to them. And that's not how life works. That's not how God say we should do it. If you want to see better in the world, you have to become the better that you want to see. Don't expect John Brown and Paul Tam to come and do good to you and do better in society. You have to expect that they won't, and they never will. But because you want to see good in this world so bad, you have to be the good that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. So I'm saying all of this to say, when I observe life and society and what's going on in there, I see the backlashing and the fine-tooth combing, and everybody's calling out somebody, trying to hold them accountable. But when they make the same mistake or worse, one, you don't hear anything about it, or two, it not even come up because they keep it hidden under the carpet. The double standard is overwhelming. I don't have time to come on here or any social media platform and scrutinize anyone's life, choices, and decisions and mistakes. You know why? Because I am busy inspecting my life, my past, my present, and working towards a better future and a better me for the future. I am trying, working so hard on me to become that individual that I expect others to be. So therefore, the stone throwing and the name calling and the noise doesn't affect me because I'm so deep in thought on seated in heaven place. What did you do or say today that is so wrong? That rubs humanity the wrong way. That will come back to affect you and your generations from now. So, because I'm in that mind space, your business doesn't affect me. What I do though, I see what's happening, so I take lessons because I cannot make all the mistakes in the world to learn from it. So I have to learn from other people's mistakes. And so this is why I pay some attention to what's being said about others, what's being done to others, who's doing it, and why. Because I need the lesson. However, if I am ever called to have a conversation about the topic or the scenario or the situation, I will not go on side A or side B. I am not in the gray either. I will approach it from a lesson perspective. Now, I see the negative in what point A did, and I see the negative in what point B did. I see the lesson that both of them taught, and I take those as stepping stone and I apply them to my life. Now, this is what I shouldn't do, this is what I shouldn't say, because I saw that number A and number B did that, and this is the outcome. It's the main purpose or the reason why we should read the Bible. A lot of people say they don't read the Bible because man write it and appear lie in there, and you name it, whatever negative them find, them attach it to the Bible. To me, that's just dumb and lack of wisdom. Because I read the Bible. I have read the Bible times over. Not only the King James Version, but the Geneva, the Apocrypha, the Ethiopian Bible, and the Book of Enoch, plus other books. And what I gather from these books are examples. Now, someone else might read it and get something else and become judgmental. Me, I get examples. I get life lessons. I saw what Adam and Eve did in the book. Abraham and Sarah. Isaac and Rachel. I saw the examples are there. What they did and what they didn't do, and I saw the outcome. Now, when I read this, I get knowledge, wisdom, understanding that, okay, this is what you're not supposed to do, because this will be the outcome. All right, this is what you should do, because that will be the outcome. And this is my approach to life. No, I wasn't always like this. There was a time when I was like the negative seers, sayers, and doers. It is the Holy Spirit of God that brought me to where I am today. And I'm sharing this because I see that not a lot of people get to this stage. And while I am still growing and elevating, striving to be a better version of myself, Christ-like, I still see what's happening in and around me. And I see the lessons. And I just want to put this out there for anyone who's listening. If you can work on yourself to become a better version of yourself every day, do that. And get out of the critics group. Because you are critiquing something you have no knowledge about, no experience about, and may end up become a victim of and facing one day because you negatively dip your mouth into somebody else's story that was going through a transformation or a life lesson or a God season. People's mistake sometimes is God bringing them through something. It's like Job and his friends. Job was going through his time of tests and trials, and his friends thought he did something against God. Most of us are being like Job's friends nowadays. we need to check ourselves and stuff.